to this again. I don't think we will see it every night. I just think that seems unrealistic. I'll say what it makes me feel like is, and you and I have discussed this before, this is a guy that a year ago in Brooklyn looked like an MVP candidate. That's not hyperbole. Like, that's legit. Like, he looked like an MVP candidate when he arrived in Brooklyn a year ago. It wasn't that. I know it feels really long ago for all of us because of everything we've lived through as Sixers people, you know, with Ben Simmons, with the loss of the Hawks, with everything that has followed. But it was a year ago that this guy looked like this. So I don't think that it just has magically gone away. I think that hamstring is still nagging him at times and still bothering him at times. And I think in moments, in spurts, that guy that we saw last night comes out because he feels good enough to have, you know what I mean? Like, I think he feels up to it and it can come out in spurts. Is that good enough to propel them to, you know, beyond this round? I do think so. And not only that, Mark, I think him being the point guard, and Doc Rivers has said this too, and I tend to agree, him being the point guard is bigger because you look at where the Sixers have failed in recent playoff runs. Their half-court offense sucked, just flat out. It was bad. With Ben Simmons as the point guard, their half-court offense was bad. Now you have James Harden, who is, whatever you want to say about where he is as a scorer, is still a world-class passer, elite, has elite vision, and can make things happen and create shots for others. You have a Tyrese Maxey who can create in the half court and go off on any given night. So with those elements, all of a sudden, your half court offense went from being bad, like flat out bad, to now really dangerous. When you have a guy like James Harden, who at any point, like, again, it's not going to happen every night, but on a given night could score 16 points in the fourth quarter and, you know, against great defense, because Miami was great in the fourth quarter defensively. He was just better offensively. So when you have multiple guys, whether it's Harden, whether it's Maxey, whether it's Joel Embiid, who can just beat good defense, that makes your half-court offense really tough to stop. And I think that's where I am with James Harden. I don't expect it every night, but I expect that it is there at times. And I think him playing that point guard role, if Maxey continues to be, you know, have his moments and be really good, if Joel Embiid can regain his offensive form just like a little bit, him being that point guard can be good enough to get them through to the next round and maybe beyond.
All right. When it comes to that guy we were just talking about as our MVP, at least, Joel Embiid, how much better can he be? I know he's not going to wave a magic wand and all of a sudden be healthy, but how much better can he get as this playoff series and hopefully this playoff run continues?
Well, what Doc said last night, and I agree, is we haven't seen the best of him yet. It's only been 2 games. We haven't seen the best of him in this series because, I mean, first of all, he's just got so much stuff working against him. The thumb, which he had just gotten used to at the end of the Toronto series, he almost has to get, like, re-used to that. He didn't play. He didn't do anything for a week, right? Like, he didn't run. He didn't do anything basketball-wise. So he's still getting his rhythm back, and he's still getting his conditioning back. And on top of all of that, he has a giant mask on his face because his face is broken. So all of these things, like, you would have to think they're going to get better, right? Like, it was at its worst when he had to play the first game 3 with the mask, with the thumb, out of shape, just clearing concussion protocol, you know, just getting his rhythm back. That was the worst of it, I feel like. So I just feel like as the games go on, as he gets used to all of these ailments and he's able to kind of rise above them, I think he's just going to gradually get better and better offensively. Now, defensively, he's been a maven. He's been ridiculous. He has been incredible on that end of the floor. And I think that is what has changed the tide of the series. And that's why we're tied at 2-2, because him defensively is so good and all of the injuries have been, you know, upstairs and not downstairs. So his legs, he looks great. He's moving really well. And it's changed everything the Sixers do defensively and how they defended the Heat. So I anticipate, offensively, there's more coming, but defensively, he's already been stellar.